Opie is doing his little stream that he does, and he starts off talking about he's been in communications with a media company, and they have an offer out to him, Vinny.
Really?
Yeah, this is exciting. Opie hasn't been employed in a very long time.
A media company.
A media company.
That could be a lot of things.
Right. I'm guessing that he describes it. I think he describes it in this clip. So let me just play it, and then we'll talk about what he said.
I met with a media company they got their, I could say they got their feed in regular radio and they got their feed in new media. I'll say it that way. And we're talking, and they check out the live streams. They really like what I'm doing. They think it's unique and different. Okay. And they also have noticed I've pumped it up lately. And I'm like, all right, cool, man, And then next thing you know, they're like, so anyway, we want to put you in a studio downtown, and we want to get you a co-host and a comedian. I'm like, wait, you basically want the Opie and Anthony show with new cast members? I'm like, no, if you could figure out what this is and allow me to still do it from the beach or my apartment 500 feet above New York City, and then maybe go into a studio here and there, sure.
All right. So what Opie just described doesn't make any fucking sense. He goes, these guys are watching me. They like what I'm doing. They like that I'm just out on the beach or I'm up in my apartment and I'm just kind of winging it with the chat. So what they offered me was to do the exact show I did when I was popular. Well, I guess that they don't really like what you're doing then, Opie. It sounds like that's not the case at all. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
They wanted you to come in and do a traditional radio style show. And that's out for you.
They love what I'm doing, and so they want me to do the opposite when I work for them.
Something entertaining.
Right. Okay. That doesn't make... Opie, I don't know if you realize that doesn't make any sense. I'm sure they're saying that to you. They're lying. They're just trying to get a name on their...
That's very odd.
Radio station.
And he always has to say 500 feet above New York City.
Oh, yeah. He's got to let you know.
Okay.
We get it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Chad says something here that I should mention if you're listening to this. Chad is on the show with Opie. So Chad says something here because Opie, after Anthony and Jim Norton, was doing a show with Vic Henley and Carl Ruiz.
They transitioned.
As we know, unfortunately. They both passed on. And so I don't know why Chad brings this up.
How crazy is that, by the way, the Carl and Vic thing? Not to go down that road, but I mean, that's as insane. They're no longer with us.
I've never said this, and I don't think I could. I probably shouldn't say the name. So those guys die within 6 months of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that was close to me, told me that he basically said we can't be friends anymore because it was freaking him out too much.
Who? Carl or Vic?
No, that these two guys died. There was another person. It's not Sherrod because some people are going to go there.
It's definitely Sherrod. I'm going to go on record as saying that's definitely Sherrod. So Opie just said, after the two co-hosts, the other guy was Sherrod, after those two guys died, a guy reached out to him that was close to him and said, I don't want to be your friend anymore because you seem to be the person of death.
He's like, Opie, the Santeria appears to be working. Yes. I got to get out of here.
Right. And Opie goes, yeah, there's a guy who doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Not Sherrod.
Who else could it have been?
Definitely Sherrod. Because he has not been on your show since then. It used to be a regular.
Yeah.
So definitely that's who it was. I think that was very telling.
Good deflection, Opie.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys have figured this out at home, it's not what you think it is. No, it is. No, we figured it out. Sorry about that. Now, because those were Opie's best friends, Vic and Carl, he asked Chad who his best friends are. And this is very telling.
Tito and Jack.
Yeah, no, this is very telling right here.
Who are your two best friends day to day? I'm not talking like your oldest friends or maybe even your closest friends, the two guys that you hang out with on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, I got to throw Jim Florentine in the mix, the big brother I never had. I mean,
Florentine, all right. And who else?
I talked to, and my buddy from college, Rock. His name's Rock. Right. He's just a normal electrician guy.
All right, couple things going on here. First off, he goes, my buddy Rock, he's not even in show business. Neither are you, Chad. I love he goes, he's just he's a civilian, this guy. He's not rich and famous like us.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is sad because Opie even says, day to day, your best friends. And Chad has said many times, I don't tell anyone about my personal life. I have friends. I go out. I do stuff. I have a lot going on. And then who are your two best friends? A guy I went to college with, which was 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
And Jim Florentine, who doesn't live anywhere near Chad. Jim Florentine lives in New Jersey. Chad's in Florida. They don't see each other very often at all. Jim recently was talking about that on a show. He's just like, well, if I'm in Florida, then I'll let Chad feature for me, but I'm not performing there very often. I don't see him very much. I know they talk on the phone every day for an hour, which Jim also said was not true.
Right.
But how sad is that?
I'm not sure the other guy exists.
Rock?
Yeah.
I call him Rock.
And
he's imaginary, but I call him Rock.
Yeah.
Way to be like kind of sound. He's just a guy not in show business, an electrician, probably in a union, probably has a nice house and a family.
That's a weird person to meet in college, an electrician. I guess it's possible. But you know what I mean?
What did they meet in the con
the
college? Were they both
janitor.
in the fucking drunk tank together?
Yeah, I think it was the guy who was working on his dorm room. He befriended him.
20 years older than him.
It's so fucking insane. Okay. Let's see what else we're talking about here.
You had Stuttering John on your live stream recently, right?
Yeah.
And you guys got along, right?
Yes.
What was the craziest thing he said on your live stream that day?
I mean, I gotta go. There's a list. I'm actually doing a live stream with him today at 1 on his show.
Okay.
He insisted that I would go on a show
Right.
as his first guest. So I'm like, okay. I was like, do a couple and then have me on. He's like, no, you have to be the first guest. I'm like, all right. So we'll see what happens at 1 o'clock today on his channel. I don't know. He's already said we're going live 4 times and he's canceled it. So it might not happen. I don't know.
Opie says, what's the craziest thing Stuttering John said? Now, that's a lame question, but Chad, you have to have an answer to that. That's part of being in this world, is when someone asks you a question, how about the fact that he said he was going to beat up all of Uncle Rico in a boxing ring? We've seen what John looks like. The photos of him in the bagel shop have leaked.
He looks like he just got out of the ring.
Yeah, he already did 12 rounds. Now he's got to beat up 3 more people.
Great.
That would be one of the things I'd be like, well, that was a pretty crazy thing that he said. But Chad doesn't remember that, I guess. Oh, well. Now, Opie says something that is insane because Opie's a retard.
The Stuttering John thing absolutely interested me, so I checked him out on your show and him yelling and screaming on other shows. And the guy has held his own.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of haters out there, but the guy held his own and spoke the truth about a lot of people out there.
If you say so.
What is he talking about? Stuttering John held his own on these shows?
I think we should all just keep telling John that he's doing a good job with this.
Maybe Opie's got the right
Opie
strategy.
does have the right strategy here. This is exactly what John needs, is the confidence to keep doing exactly what he's doing.
Right.
You're speaking your truth, John. Keep it up, buddy.
That's all John needs to hear.
That's true. All right.
I was holding my own.
Opie knows.
Opie knows. Watch how easily distracted Opie is. It's really shocking to me that he's an adult who's been in the entertainment industry for as long as he has been.
100%.
Yeah. So
I go Stuttering. I've had Stuttering John on this a bunch,
Yeah.
When it wasn't hot to have him on. And then the other day, I think it was last Friday, I do this, there's a bunny rabbit down there, Chad. Hi, bunny rabbit.
He's doing an impression of himself. It's insane. What adult man talks like that?
No wonder he doesn't want to go back into a studio. He's got bunny rabbits running around.
You know what that reminds me of? We've talked about it many times on here, but when the Isotopes, before producer Chris was in the band, the Isotopes were on Brother Weeze's show, and he used to do his show on the first floor on Main Street, and it was all windows. And Brother Weeze would just get distracted by people walking by. We were on there, he's talking to the guest or whatever, and he just goes, whoa, look at that guy's hat. You're like, all right, you don't need any more distractions here.
Dude, back then we should have all just driven past there every day, just walked by with silly hats around 11 o'clock. Just derail the whole thing.
We should have gotten ski masks to walk by naked with just the ski mask on. See what Weeze did with that. You're right, though, Vinny. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity to fuck with Weeze. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, we could have just literally done the Nick G bit and just write Nick G on a side, just walk by.
You mean my buddy Nicholas Gurr?
That's the guy.
Dude, people are still trying to get John with that. He's wise to it now, guys. You can stop doing that. Someone just on the show yesterday, they're like, are you doing Nick G's show tonight? And John's like, no, I'm not doing Nick's show. Come on.
Yeah, well, we'll have to come up with some others to get
Yes,
it with.
for sure. Oh, my God. I talked about it the other day on Who Are These Socials. The funniest one was Lawyers, Guns, and Money put a super chat on that said, Jenna just came out to her family as gay and she's been shunned. Will you please say that you support genocide in this?
I support genocide. I do support Jenna.
I was like, that's clever.
That is
pretty good.
Yeah. Props.
That's not bad. Okay. So, as we know, Kevin Brennan, KB, spent $3,000 to get Stuttering John on his show.
Unbelievable.
And that was a big deal because that was the first time John was back. Now, John's price has gone down since then because he's oversaturated the market by a lot.
And the screen and the microphone.
It's a lot of saturation.
You gotta ring that thing out before you can use it.
Christ.
I just yanked my earbuds out of my head laughing at that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's funny. I'm sorry.
So then Chad paid him, I think, $1,300 in total for the 2 shows they did together on Chad's stream. And now Opie's going to tell us what the price was to get John on his show.
But anyway, so Stuttering John, I was going to have him on this thing last Friday. I do kind of a beer show from time to time.
Sure.
And he goes,
Beer guy.
and because, people were paying him to be on their live streams, I go, Stuttering John, I'll give you a 6-pack if you come on my live stream. And he wrote back to me, all right, could you Venmo me $20?
It went from $3,000 to $1,300 to $20 in the course of a week.
Yeah.
And then Opie turns into the concert radio guy. He's like, well, I thought you'd pay me for the airtime so I could get it out there, John. God. Holy shit.
I mean, it didn't happen, so I think Opie was laughing at him, which is great. John's price is now $20, everyone.
Fucking dollars.
In case you're wondering. All right. Now Opie starts talking about me, and he starts to get real cocky about my buddy Kevin Brennan here.
There's so much going on there, and it's like I don't pick sides because especially with you. Because
it could change.
That's what I'm saying. I could go all in, like, yeah, I also hate that guy. And next thing you know, I turn on your live stream and you're talking to the guy you were hating.
I mean, yes and no.
You got balls. And then I got Kevin Brennan. He sends me the link every day. And he was cocky on his Twitter. He's like, send Opie the link. I'm like, you don't send me the link. I send you the link.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, I was watching.
Send him the link like he's like sitting on a throne. Like, okay, send him the link.
So KB addressed this.
Yeah.
He goes, it's not 2004 anymore, Opie.
I sell tickets.
Yeah, KB's selling tickets. No, KB's got a big audience over there. He sent me a link the other day on Thursday, and I hopped on with him. Yeah. I like talking with KB and Bob and the gang over there. Not so much Ray DeVito. I had to tell him to shut up a few times, but I like talking to the other guys. But it's just so funny that Opie thinks that he's still Opie and Anthony, and he's just not. Dude, Opie, you literally talked to, and no offense to Tukey and the Potato, but I was watching the other day. He had Jake Hudson, Tukey, Corn Diff, Cardiff. This is... no. Kevin Brennan sending you the link. So that's how this is working at this point. Yeah.
I can't wait for his next show with his new co-host, Bunny and Doggy.
Can't get the bunny to sit still. Come back here, Bunny.
Yeah, why didn't that media company
I'll send you a
pick
link.
this up?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it. Go figure. Okay. So now Opie is... So he was just talking about me because Chad and I were on a show this past Sunday night. We're on Uncle Rico together. And I guess Opie tuned into that. I was just like, what the fuck? Chad and Carl and Anthony is on there. He must have been losing his mind. So now Opie's going to school me on how to be successful and how to build an audience. So that's good to know.
Oh, my God. I've heard this fucking take from him 90 times.
Because I try to tell these guys that if your whole show is to basically do a Jocktober, which we did back in the day, I mean, it's obvious where all this came from. I mean, you can't deny that, right? Are you going to deny that?
No, I mean,
All right.
they stole Jocktober and ran with it.
And if that's all you're doing with your show, how are you going to build an audience in the end?
I agree. I mean, you got to nobody. And the one thing I did learn is nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They think they do, but
Right.
Nobody has the answers. Nobody really knows what's going on. And,
All right. So I'm proving Opie wrong on a daily basis over here. Yeah. You can't just take that format and build an audience. Too late.
It's built.
It's built. Here we are. Go figure. And I love that Opie's mad at me for stealing Jocktober. Meanwhile, it was a dormant bit. No one was doing it. Opie wasn't doing it anymore. He should have been. He should have been keeping it going, but he wasn't because he didn't do any of the work for that. Sam Roberts did. So Opie wouldn't even be able to do this if he wanted to.
I think that when it comes down to all of it, he's upset that he didn't think of doing it.
Yes.
And that's what's really bothering him.
Yeah.
I really think deep down there's part of that to it because he seems stuck on, they're just doing Jocktober.
Right. And so, all right, so this is him going on about that, and I'll address this.
It's like, what else do you have? Because if you don't have anything else, if that's all you have, you're never going to build an audience. Never.
Yeah.
Okay. So I obviously have 2 other podcasts. We have The Creep Off, my buddy Vinny Paulino. We do Her Are These Socials with Blind Mike Geary. This show has evolved into a lot of different segments and things that we do out here. And Opie's aware of that. There was a time when Opie pretended he didn't know who I was and didn't know anything about it. He's wildly aware of everything that we're doing now. So the fact that he's sitting there and going, I mean, that's all they do is just rip off Jocktober? I love when people say that. Like, that's all you could do is just rip off other people's things. Like, well, if you actually listen to the show, there's quite a bit going on over here.
And not to wash your balls, but you're naturally funny. I don't find Opie funny in the least.
No, he's terrible.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't go on MLC. Opie's seen me on MLC. He's like, what else does this guy have? Well, you've seen me on MLC. See me mix it up with Stuttering John. Opie doesn't go on there because he knows he's got nothing. He's got nothing to talk about. What would they talk about? So you used to be successful, right, Opie? What's going on now?
Hi, doggy.
Yeah. I just watch my bank account get smaller and smaller on a daily basis. And that's what I'm up to. Fun.
You know, my thing with him is, it always, like, I'll say to him, hey, man, Cardiff invited him on subreddit surfing. He keeps saying he's going to do subreddit surfing. Now he's said, by the way, I'll point out, he's more interested in doing, I remember the 90s. than subreddit. He said it on his stream the other day. And I'm just like, motherfucker, okay, dude. But, like, it all goes back to, no matter what I say to him, they're just ripping off Jocktober. And I'll go, but listen, man, I do 2 shows. I do 3 shows. None of them are Jocktober. Right. Carl has 1 show that's part of it. I do all sorts of different things. I got creeps. I got fucking subreddits. I got interviews with comedians. I do all this stuff. But he cannot get past that you do Jocktober, right. Carl.
Well, not only do I do Jocktober, which I've readily admitted many, many times. I have no problem with that. I thought it was a brilliant bit, and I was happy to take it on with podcasts. But apparently I'm also terrible at it.
And we don't have to. I don't want to talk about Carl from Rochester or Steel Toe every day of my life. I don't care. I really don't.
I got to be honest. I avoid those guys, but I've taken a peek at both of them. They're terrible at this.
Really bad.
They're absolutely terrible at this.
Yeah.
We would have squashed them. It would have taken 1 day if they were competing with us on back in the day with the big radio shows. We would have squashed them they're really bad at this.
Hopefully he's talking about Aaron from Steel Toe and not me. Opie, if that's the case, do it now. If you can squash me like a bug, then just do it. This proves he needs Ant and Jim to fight his battles for him because he's got nothing. This video had less than 2,000 views and the channel has 141,000 subscribers. So the fact that Opie's going on here and saying that I'm terrible at what I do and he'd squash me like a bug. And that's the other thing about Opie is this is why he sucks at this. Because he makes these blanket statements like that, but doesn't back it up with anything. Give me an example. Why am I bad at this? Give me an example why I suck at this. Because I had to use Vinny's studio and this place blows?
Is that why? I'll fight you right now. Yeah, Carl. No matter what it is, he just hates you. He hates the fact that you goofed on him.
I know.
He hates the fact that you did what he did better and turned it into something on a format that he doesn't even understand. And he's angry at the fucking world, I think.
And he's just going about it all the wrong way because it's so transparent. It's so obvious. Mm-hmm. When he says things like, and Carl isn't even good at it, and he can't even build an audience.
That's Stuttering John level.
Right. Opie is Stuttering John level fighting back right now.
Although I would tune in if he started, I remember success. That'd be awesome. Maybe.
I remember success.
Yeah.
The 90s when I had a job. I remember that. I used to have to get up go to work every day. It was crazy. It was
I remember success. That's a perfect show.
Surrounded by funny people.
All right. Now, here Cardiff comes in with a super chat asking Chad about doxing him.
That's not good.
I know you're distracted by this. So where are we at with Cardiff?
He's another guy. He's just like the crab in the bucket. It's just I don't understand what he's doing. It's just like he's got a high profile job, and it's just like, well, why are you doing this?
You want to. It's really up to you. You want to play rodeo and put him on for 5 minutes and see what happens.
Well, send Tony the link. He's nothing. He's just like go.
I don't have the link for Tony. I thought you were going to send it to Tony.
So Chad
Couple
won't
of
even
cowards.
talk. He won't even talk to Cardiff. He won't even face Cardiff. Why?
Wasn't Opie just telling him what balls he has for jumping on there and talking with people?
Yeah. So he wants to dox Cardiff. He's been posting photos of who he says is Cardiff lately, I think on Twitter or Instagram or something. So he's willing to do that, but he won't just talk to the guy and hash it out if he's got this big problem with Cardiff. And I don't know why he's doing this. He's got a high-profile job. And that's like, Chad doesn't understand that at all. Like, you have a job? Yeah. Let me explain how this works, Chad.
Well, is he stealing from the government or does he have a job,
Yeah, I
Chad?
know. That's what I thought. I thought he was on disability or something. I thought that was his first story he had.
Oh, Chad's story's changed?
So Opie goes on. This is funny, too, because Opie goes on to explain that Cardiff is actually very talented. And Opie thinks he should do the show without the potato filter. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
But I love that Opie is like, no, I talk to Cardiff all the time. He's on the show. He's great. He's actually really good at what he does. And, of course, Chad is not having that. So Chad explains his problem with Cardiff and see if you can make sense of this one.
But no, I think Cardiff is talented past the attacking that goes on in this crazy world.
I just don't understand, like what is he getting out of this? Like, what's his intention? Like, considering what he can lose, like, I just don't get it.
Well, has he said anything crazy where it would hurt his job?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I know you're good with that, but it's not my thing.
Yeah. Chad's got nothing. He goes, I don't understand why Cardiff's doing this. He's got so much to lose. Like, well, what is he doing that would make him lose his stuff? And Chad's like, I don't know. I just want to dox him and ruin his life.
Associating with me.
Yeah, I'm just planning on ruining his life. What's the problem here? Yeah. Cardiff does nothing. He's harmless.
He's cute.
He is. I mean, when he was doing the SJRB stuff and threatening to fight us in Chicago, I mean, that was funny.
Yeah.
But that would be a thing where you'd just be like, oh, he's threatening violence on us. Now he's just being silly. Now he's just being a goose.
Yeah. A goose.
So I don't understand. And, Opie is just like, no, you don't understand. Cardiff is a good guy. He's fun. He's funny.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted by Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit giving $5.99. Opster, arm Chad with a can of oil. He will feel emboldened to face Cardiff.
There it is.
Let's face Cardiff today, Chad.
Yeah.
Let's rock this thing.
Let's go.
He's trying to get attention. He wants to get on your radar. Let's just forget about it.
We give him a quick 5 minutes. I will not do anything you don't want to do because
I mean, it's just why you're like you're better than that. You did it. You should be in the Radio Hall of Fame, not talking to a guy from Niagara Falls with a filter on.
Wow, he's just sucking his dick so he doesn't bring him in because you know what's going to happen when Cardiff gets in there.
Yeah,
Cardiff's going to go, hey, Chad, why are you posting pictures of who you think is me on the internet?
Right.
Hi, Chad, why are you constantly threatening this information? Why are you constantly starting a problem with me?
And Chad doesn't have an answer for that, and he's being a pussy right here. Chad is being a bitch right here. Hey, Opie's like, come on, man, let's just bring him out for 5 minutes. Let's see what he has to say. No. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to the potato.
And
Opie.
also, by the way, you're great.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Opie's very easily manipulated, so I understand why he did that. And let me point out, so now you see Tony Mazur's on the show. They bring in Chad's buddy Tony. And Tony sucks. He brings the show to a halt, a screeching halt, because he's in love with Opie, and all he does is tell Opie how great he is and how much he looked up to him and how much he admired him. Tony Mazur's a 0.
That dude's got stooge face.
Ugh. He's got nothing going on. All right. So now Cardiff comes in to the super chat to let Chad know what a pussy he is. Tukey follows up. This is great.
Yeah.
All right, this popped on. I gotta throw it all at you there, Chad. Cardiff Electric, another 279. What is a 279? What is that? Is that some kind of Canadian exchange?
Yes.
Yeah, he lives in I don't know. Whatever.
20 rules, chicken Chad drools. Damn.
Sick burn.
Yeah.
Damn.
God, he got me, man. This guy's good. He's
I
so
don't think you're
good.
going to recover from that one there.
Yeah,
Chad.
my day's ruined. It's Friday, July 7th. It's over.
Now all the vegetables are coming in, man. Chad, show your bank statement and we'll show our faces. No,
I like that.
Yeah.
It's got nothing.
you get
what
skin there, Chad Zumock.
what's that?
You get under people's skin.
Good.
Good. So basically, Chad was saying before that, he goes, I don't have to talk to these people. They don't even show their faces. They're anonymous people on the internet. So Tukey comes in and is like, okay, well, show us your bank statement. We'll be happy to come on with you. Chad's just got nothing. He's so afraid of these people. It's bizarre. It's bizarre behavior for a guy who used to be in radio. And he talks about how he used to fight everyone in Cleveland. Rover was going after him and he could handle all of it. And Maxwell, he didn't have a problem. And now it's just like, okay, a potato in Niagara Falls wants to talk to you. No. Can't do it.
And he should have just learned a very valuable lesson about when you unite and have fun with it.
Right.
It could happen again.
Who knows?
What the fuck?
Good point. Okay. So now we're going to find out who's the biggest asshole because Chad has a lot of enemies.
Can I vote?
No.
I'm sorry.
No. I want to see where I'm on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Not with you, Vinny. I know where I'm on the list with you. I want to see where I'm on the list with the Z-Man.
Tony, you know Kevin Brennan. What do you think? You're watching from an outside perspective.
This whole thing is a soap opera, and seeing this for basically the beginning and all the who are these podcasts now. Chad, who would you rank the? Now I'm going to ask you a question. Where would you rank the biggest piece of shit in your mind right now, as of today, as of whatever July 7th? Is Bob Levy at the top of the list? Is Shuley? Is Carl? Is Cardiff? Like, who's the top of the list, and who are you more possible to get along with in the next couple of days, weeks? Who knows?
Take it, Opie.
Tony is mine. I found my new co-host. These are brilliant questions there, Chad. These are brilliant questions. I know what you're paying the Tony, but I'm gonna double it.
All right.
Bring on the media company.
You'll notice that Opie was like, holy shit, this kid's got it. And the reason why is because the previous 20 minutes I did not clip was Tony telling Opie how amazing he is.
Right.
So it's very easy to manipulate Opie. All you have to do is praise him and be like, I can't believe how good you are at radio. What Opie should say when he hears that is, are you fucking with me? You know what I mean? If someone's like, Carl, you play guitar really well, I'm like, you fucking with me? What's your angle, boy? What are you up to over there?
Did anybody tell you how handsome you look today, Carl?
You fucking with me?
Yeah.
You're fucking with me, aren't you? Okay. So let's see what happens. So who's the biggest a-hole? And he lists off a couple of people. And then I think Tony or maybe Opie brings it back because we got to complete the list. We got to get the top 5 here.
Chad, I want to ask something because you mentioned Bob Levy is number 1, and then you said Steel Toe number 2. But I want to know who's 3 through 5 in your podcast feud.
Jesus, I mean, it's all like Gino's there. I mean, he's garbage. Kumia, of course. Yeah, he's bottom of the
Christy
barrel.
Mayer? Is it Patrick Melton?
He's there. It's just like you're trying to pick your least favorite kid. It's so hard.
Guys, I didn't make the list.
How do you feel about that?
Shit, I love it. It's amazing.
You exist in this weird place.
I do.
You really do, because the greatest thing you ever did was come up with the don't interfere rule.
Right.
You know, you're not actively
no one had ever
starting
thought of it.
problems. Well, these fucking people are just fucking yelling and screaming at each other on the internet all day.
Well, it'd be great if they were, but Chad's actually trying to dox people. Melton's trying to get Aaron arrested in Minnesota. Like, there's people who are just like fucking with people in real life, and it's a weird way to go about your day. It's not funny. Yeah. It's not entertaining. Look what I did. I got this guy arrested. Wee.
You got to start making calls to the cops down there to make this list next year.
Okay. I'll work on that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wonder where John is on the list now because John called the Tampa Police Department and the FBI on Chad because of a tweet.
Hello, female body inspectors. It's John.
You have the right number, sir. Okay. This is the last clip I have from this. Chad admitting that he stole content.
Because it's working for you. So now, today at 3:00, I'll be sniping blah, blah show. And then, I'm going to snipe you sniping that show. Oh, yeah, well, watch what I do. And then the screen is like a mirror, like It's just crazy.
It is dirty. I'm not gonna lie. It's a dirty tactic. I don't agree with it, even though I benefited financially from it. I don't think it's the right thing to do because you're literally just taking someone else's content. But it's working, and I think it's funny, and it got under Kevin's skin, so I won.
Chad's always winning. It's working. I got it under Kevin's skin, so I won. You won what?
Fucking buy a lottery ticket, Chad. Great
What
job.
did you win? But I love that he admits that that's stealing. Yeah.
Who are these podcasts?